Hey, good morning everyone. Kaye here on the Homestead, and you know, God works in mysterious ways, right? So I was at the co-op yesterday buying some more gear to electrify my big lower garden, and I just happened to, there was a man waiting to check out behind me, and I just looked around and I said, well, he said, it looks like you got some work cut out for you, and I said, yeah, and I need help. And we started talking, and it looks like he might be able to help me out for one day a week, something like that. He has a farm, so he knows about all these tools and good stuff. And it rained last night, a little bit, so it's too wet to till. I can't go down to the lower garden this morning, but he came over, and so the first good thing was it rained, and because all that corn and beans I planted down there really need it. And then he came over this morning and we were talking about the scope of the work and all of that, and I said, well, let me show you my side garden. And so I came over and I showed him all those volunteers of CUCURBITS, which there's watermelon and there's melon and lemon cucumber and winter squash. It's all coming up over there, I don't know. So he goes, oh Lordy, his reaction was, oh Lordy, you got to move this today. You have to move this today. And I said, oh my goodness, really? He said, oh yeah, you've got to do it today while it's wet. So I am going to go over there and follow his direction. And he said, you don't need to worry about trellising it. You know, we'll just put some hay underneath it. And I said, well, I need some hay. He says, I got some hay. And so I'm gonna go over there, and hopefully in the 3 hours I have to work, I can reorganize all those cucurbits and get that going, because it's gonna rain again tonight. And there's the buzzard circling, waiting for me to collapse. No, and so it's gonna supposedly rain some more today, so that's why he expressed the urgency. It's cooler today to get out there and get those moved so that they get rained in tonight. So let's go. Okay, so here is a view of the quadrant. There's weeds, it's gonna be muddy, and I've got to move these plants 30 inches apart and pull out all the weeds. Let's see how much we can accomplish. He just reached down and pulled one out and stuck it in right here just to show me an example. But he said, yeah, while this soil is wet is when you need to do this. So here we go. Well, I think I've been at it for about an hour and 15 minutes. I think I've moved close to 20 plants, and I just have to say, okay, the weeds are going to have to wait for another day. I am drenched with sweat, and it is so humid and hot, and I thank God for every breeze, every cloud. Well, it's cloudy now, but it's so humid. You still, the heat is still something. So anyway, that big clump over there, I haven't even touched the really big thick clump. I was working the outskirts of that. I could fill up this entire, all the blank areas with cucurbits. One of the melons that I grew, I don't want to grow again, but I can't tell the difference between that and the lemon cucumber, which I want. So, what I'm doing, because I don't have time or energy to do the weeds right now, I'm just kind of clearing a little space around each plant and putting in the plant, and then I'm just putting in a kind of a marker so that I don't step on it, because they're not exactly in rows. All of these transplants are going to wilt in this heat. But if it stays cloudy and it actually rains later, then that'll be ideal, and that's why he stressed that I absolutely had to do this today. Okay, when your soil is tilled, you know, it just makes the whole job so much easier. You don't have to worry too much about weeds. You know, they're very easy to just scratch up. This soil is very clay, but it's been tilled a few times, so it's not just solid. So I went through all of my melons and cucumbers and watermelons that had languished in one tray, and I thought, okay, let's just pick out, for some reason I never thinned them. I don't know what I was thinking, I just wasn't thinking. And so they were really languishing, so I just picked out the best ones. At this point, late in the season, I just got to go with anything that looks like it might be successful. Okay, everything is pretty wilted. It's very hot, and I'm hoping to just spray this with a little water, rainwater from my cistern real quick before I leave. Oh, come on.